Hi, this is Elitam Elamine and Ayayala. And we're here at Luxor Temple that's in Luxor, Egypt. And in ancient times it was called Thebes. And it's right here on the Nile River. You can see the Nile River going back this way, but you also see the beautiful mountains. And this is a wonderful place to be. And right now we're going to talk about the Breatharian energy. Now, why is we talking about this energy? Is it a resurrection or has it always been here?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
We want you to tell our best friend today happy birthday, Jeremy. Would you mind?
Oh, I would love it.
Okay.
We got to tell her best friend happy birthday.
Yes.
Voila.
Happy birthday. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Another time. Her name is Jermine.
Jermaine.
Okay.
See, people nice all over the place.
We're saying happy birthday.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jermaine. Happy birthday to you.
Thank
This
you.
is wonderful. Thank y'all. Bye.
So we're really feeling quivering from excitement from the morning when we saw this, when we arrived. We just crossed the Nile on a special ferry boat, and we're here exploring and sharing.
Now, Luxor, if you don't know where that's at, is south of Cairo. So we're in southern Egypt, but in ancient times, keep in mind that southern Egypt was called Upper Egypt. See, because the Nile River is the only river in the world that flows from the south up to the north. So right now we're actually in a, let's go closer over here. As we come into the kingdom of Luxor, and in ancient times of the city of Thebes, this was a great political and religious place. Right here you can see the pharaohs and the statues as we get closer. We see the obelisks that's all over the planet. Washington, D.C. is famous for having one. And this is a beautiful temple, well put together. And look at those tremendous statues here as we get closer.
What's interesting in these statues is part of their faces are smashed, and also part of them are whole. So we're really lucky to see the whole faces. There are places in Egypt that all of the faces are smashed, and here some of them were saved.
A great preserve, that's what we're doing. Now today we're going to talk about the Breatharian continuance of energy. Now what do I mean by this? See, sometimes when we look at ancient civilizations, we say, well, they came and gone and they've been destroyed. But they haven't been destroyed. Actually, this is the ancient civilization. You are the ancient people. It never left. All generations is the same generation. And when one generation does not get it together to go back to the source, then it's the next generation's chance, which again is the same generation. So, even though we might say this was built in the Stone Age still exists today. Every time you see a brick house, a street made of bricks, you are looking at the technology that still exists in this age from the Stone Age. The Copper Age, I got copper on me right now. So that means that the Copper Age still exists. Right now we're in the electronical age, we're in the space age. Every age go on top of each other, but the former ages are still underneath. They never got resurrected. So even when you get into your ancient knowledge and start studying it, it still exists today, and we go off of a lot of the knowledge. Like on one level, Egypt was once called Kemet. And Kemet is where we get the word chemistry from. So it still exists today as you get deeper into your studies. So again, we are the ancient people that never really got destroyed, and these ancient kingdoms still exist. So when we deal with the Breatharian knowledge, and I tell you that it's from ancient times, and it comes from an ancient word that means anidia, it still exists. It's just that the other things went on top of it, and you can resurrect the artifact, which is yourself, the artifact, which is the knowledge, and bring it back forth because you have a connection to the ancients because you are the ancient. Now again, isn't that wonderful? Look at the size of those. This is wonderful. We're going to do some good meditation here also.
So amazing. I'd like to share a bit about the different symbols on this. We see symbols very, very clear that look that they've been actually laser cut. We have the Ankh, the symbol of eternity. We have different gods and goddesses.
That is awesome. Look how far up it goes.
And we have the discs of the sun. We have big hornets. We have the eye of Horus. Endless information. This was the database that was activated and all of the time working. The connection between the people living here and other highways in the sky.
Look at
probably
that.
beings, intelligent beings.
That is awesome. All of this ancient history, like I said, it's not ancient. We're using it today on many different levels. And this civilization, it wants to get the credit for trying to discover everything, but it's not the truth. All they did was put things on top of it because the electrical age always exists. This prana, this chi, this breatharianism, as we talk about, always exists to sustain a human being. Why? Look at the sun, for instance. Not only affected the ancients, it's affect us today. And look at these sun symbols on here. It's on everything. You see the pharaoh sitting down in a chair with the sun on top of him. That is still our source of power and our source of strength. So as we resurrect this knowledge, we tell you the power, here it is again, all over the place. These ancient symbols. Look how precise that is. This is just overwhelming, and again, this is Luxor. It was built about 1,500 years ago, and look at all of those pillars and columns. This is a wonderful place. And of course, we're going to take advantage of the energy, do some great meditations later. Look at that as it goes in there. Let me take you further back. And this is awesome as we go inside and look at these different things. That is beautiful.
Look at the curvings of this beautiful, delicate hand. You can even see the fingernails. It's a whole story of communication between the different figures here and the people. You see here is like many little figures on his knees.
And see, just like what we take writing for granted, but when we put those symbols on a piece of paper and call it writing, this is just another form of writing. We can make up any type of alphabet we want. You understand? It's about us agreeing with it. That's all the language is. We agreed on the symbols that we're going to use at this time. And languages become extinct and are invented all the time. So as we decipher this stuff and put it back to use, like I said, many are on this study. It's a great study to be in. And you'll be surprised how, again, civilizations never really get destroyed. All they do is, once one seems like it goes down, it expands itself and it changes names. But like the saying goes, the game is still the same. This is another chamber. And look at that. The serpent is on top of his head, just like we was in Cairo at the different pyramids and the temples. They're still using the same knowledge as we come further to the south. And here we're not far from the Sudanese border, because keep in mind, when people think of pyramids and when they think of the Nile River, they just think of Egypt. But only 22% of the Nile River is actually in Egypt, and there's like 70 major pyramids going all along from Upper Egypt and down into southern Egypt. Well, let's still say Egypt. The Nile, and it goes into Sudan and other countries, which we're going to make a trip there soon to show you more of the pyramids that I looked at the documentaries. There's not many out there, and the one that is out there really don't give it justice. So we're going to come and really show this stuff so you can understand. But again, all civilizations are on top of each other. So whether if you're in the Stone Age still exists, the Copper Age, the Bronze Age, the Steel Age, all of these ages are all on top of each other. So as we come this way, you can see the work again is done. This is excellent. And how did that energy feel in there?
I'm feeling like in a temple.
Well, this is a temple. This was one of the political and religious places of ancient times.
I wonder what kind of roof they had here. Maybe it was a mat made out of palm leaves. And now there's many pigeons nesting all over. It seems very peaceful.
And keep in mind that this is one of the oldest recorded civilizations that's recorded. So as we come through here, this is really a lot of history that we're dealing with. Look at this. This is well preserved. Again, you got the sun everywhere. We can call this the sun worship place if we want to. Look how huge that is. And look at this wall over here. You see the different hieroglyphs? And the wall's covered with them. All the way up. So when we deal with Breatharian knowledge, I once put a post on Facebook saying we live in a Breatharian world. Because when you deal with words like prana, that means breath. Chi means an inanimate breath. Ki that Japanese use is an inanimate breath. All of these terms that we're using is talking about the same thing. Hey, brother. These some more good friends I'm meeting out here. They're having a wonderful time, too. But like we said, there's nice people all over the world, and we're all connected as we live inside of this breath.
Yes.
This is awesome. So again, the whole human family's connected, the world's connected, and all of this great history. Oh, this is wonderful. Again, look at all the different artifacts here. This is massive. So don't be afraid to go into your Breatharian journey. Start eating less. You eat less, you feel better. Start stretching. Start getting that blood circulation. That's living on prana. It's no hidden knowledge at all. And again, we all, no matter what climate you live in an electromagnetic field of the sun. That's why meditation is the foundation, because every time you put yourself in a relaxing state, you automatically, by your nature, begin to heal. Start healing yourself. And then when you start doing this and you start gaining more power on healing yourself and taking charge of your life, then this will become from myth to reality. This stuff is real. We're having a really great time being who we are, which is the, what, children of the sun, if you want to say. But look at this again. This is just fabulous. And here we go with the conical cake. See, this right here is real good because you got the which is the symbol of life, but you also got the conical cake, what they used a lot for the manna from heaven or getting fed the bread, the spiritual bread. Now, what's spiritual bread? See, it's more than just eating physical bread. Because like it says, man just does not live off of bread alone. Hey, how's it going?
This is also
Oh, America.
Ellie Tom, let's tell them that this is also the back.
Well, right now we're doing the video.
Yeah, we just discovered something here now, that this is actually the back channel of a huge statue of a pharaoh that is facing the other direction.
Now
so
listen
all
at
of
this.
this information is recorded actually in his spinal cord.
Right.
And that is amazing.
It's sort of like those who are into the knowledge, like the laws of Ma'at. And we talk about now how the human being is under universal laws, and even scientifically they're proving it more and more. So here they got these different hieroglyphs telling the story about these universal laws and this conical bread, the tree of life. But like she said, it's on her spine, on his spinal cord. Now let's go in the front and look at the statue. This is who is on the spinal cord. There's a man here. And he's going up, his head is off. But that shows you right there a symbolism that just like us, we can obey these laws and make it come to pass to eat that bread from heaven. Opening up your energy channels, they'll get strengthened. You will get more electromagnetic energy because we all have electromagnetic fields on the body. And you can eat very little or you don't have to eat none at all. Now you should take it light at first, leave the heavier foods alone first. Then start going into the liquid stages. Don't beat up on yourself. Let your body get used to that new frequency. Then start expending the time period on when you can leave food alone more and more. And believe me, it will be amazing. But the thing about it, put meditation into your life and also cool down your life from all the stress that we actually cause 90% of it. So again, this is beautiful as you look at all the statues here. But now I got to show you this other side. Look at this. This is wonderful. You just can't make this up. It's been here thousands of years ago again. Oh my gosh.
There's a whole huge royal family here. We can't even count how
Look
many
how big that
statues
is.
there are here.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable how it was made and carved and made smooth out of these huge marble stones. We cannot believe it's human handmade.
So this is wonderful again. And we're talking about the Breatharian Continuance. In other words, it's not about forcing nobody to come into this knowledge, but keep in mind it exists for those who want to and who want to take part in their evolution. That's what it's all about, the Breatharian Continuance. What makes us different than other animals, we can actually make a plan. If you want to start becoming a bodybuilder, you can. If you want to start running marathons, you can, especially if you got the right equipment in place. And if you want to start living more energetically in a stress-free life, you can make a plan and you can do that. So again, not only you can make yourself sick, and we know this because there's a thing in the West called preventable diseases where people already proved that. Now you can make yourself healthy and you can do it. So again, we hope you enjoyed this. Look how these beautiful statues. Look how beautiful they are. And this place is just magnificent. So if you're ever in Egypt, not only you hit Cairo like I showed you before, done with the Great Pyramid and stuff like this, Luxor is another good one. Coming here to see the King's Temple. And look at it compared to the size of me. Oh, this is wonderful. Ayala, you can see her, and how big those statues are. And we're having a great time again, and we're going to go find a good place to take advantage of these meditations. Oh, but I got something else to show you. See, it could go on and on and on. Oh my gosh, look at this. Again, we already came this way, now there's even more. Look how big that is coming from the side. And that's another part of the city going all the way towards that way. Now this must have been a really great city dealing with Thebes in ancient times. You got the Nile River there, which had real good commerce. So there's a whole lot here that's going on. Now I'm going to take you further up. If you ever get a chance to visit, here it is. But if not, I hope you could get a lot out of this video. I love sharing some of my adventures. Here's the king and queen again. There's also another one on the other side dealing with the male and female energy. And in a lot of religion, you got what, the Adam and Eve, the Shiva and Shakti, the Og and the Og, the Yin and the Yang. Well, we all have, no matter if you're male or female, you got the male and female principle within you, which is actually an electromagnetic principle. Mary Magdalene come from magnetism, for instance, and then the L represents the male electricity. That's where that word comes from. Now look at this that's written on the walls. Oh my gosh. It don't end. And see, our Constitution is life. See, whenever you stop eating or stop doing a bad habit, say for instance you smoke a cigarette, as soon as you put it down, your body starts healing itself. That's why usually when you wake up in the morning, you start spitting up stuff, all that mucus is coming up. Hey there. Voila, here's the crew right here. Say hi, everybody. They on their school crew. Y'all having a good time?
This photo?
Yeah. Ta-da. I love it. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one. Oh, you want to follow too?
你好。
Voila. Oh, it's going the other way. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Voila. Oh, my gosh. Here come more. All right, here I go. All right. This is awesome. All right, y'all can say hi to the camera. They're all watching y'all. All right, here we go.
That means it's a god.
Well, oh, sorry about that. All right, we're doing our pictures. We're all getting educated out here. And like we said again, the whole human family is connected. All right, here we go. All right, we're about to continue our video. Y'all have a real good time. Okay, here you go. All right. Thank y'all so much. Woo! We have fun. Again, here go. Boy, that was something, ain't it? Young crew having a good time. And they're lucky to be here to actually see this history and can really learn it. And again, this is telling a really, really great story. Now, one of my videos, I showed you this before. This is actually the sound of the universe. This is what they get the WWW dealing with the World Wide Web. It's connecting everything. This is the energy or the frequency that brings everything together. So when you're meditating, try to get real quiet and try to hear the universe. You'll hear that. Some call it in science the microwave background radiation. But this is an awesome thing to learn. You see the serpent on the ground. See all these different symbols. They're sort of like schematics in electronics.
I think that actually if we'll go a bit closer here and look, we can see interesting motifs that we haven't saw before. Maybe representing the storage of the grains. You see here is grains of wheat. We can see wheat all over the Nile, agriculture today that is very beautiful.
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
And here we can see grapes. It even can resemble biblical motifs, palm trees, and pomegranates. Look, it's amazing. We see all of the blessings that were in this rich, fertile land until today.
Now that's a good point you made. So we're not saying the whole world got to go not to eating, but the world does provide enough for everybody to eat healthy.
Right, if everybody eats just to share and just what he wants.
And the world provides for free. It don't cost money.
Very little. We need very little to truly exist.
So right now there's a mismanagement taking place, if we want to say that. But again, let's go see the other place. That's a whole nother video. Oh my gosh, you got to see this place. Again, look how wide and big this is. You see the pillars on this side? And we still ain't to the end yet. We still got to go way to the other side.
All of these pillars have also the lotus flower motifs. They should open up like lotus flower or like crowns of cobras.
And they show you that in yoga, don't they? Let's make it plain. They show you that in yoga. The opening up of the lotus. When the energy is flowing within a human being, you do photosynthesis just like a plant.
And it comes out from the crown of the head, exactly like trees opening up their leaves to the sun and receiving the nourishing, and the fruit blossoming and strongest at the top.
And let's go back to what we were saying on when you was talking about the bread and the wheat being stored in the storehouses.
Yeah.
One thing we use in spirituality is called cultivation. We use that word cultivation. That is a word we use in agriculture, meaning when you plant the seed, don't expect to get the fruit the same day. You have to work with it. Pull the weeds up.
You have
Make
to
sure
give it water. You
Right.
have to move the water element in your body. You have to work with the 4 elements in your body in a balanced way in order to have fruits, and that happens here in the brain, in the pineal glands.
So the bread that we're talking about, or this manna from heaven, already exists, but you must cultivate the body in order to receive more of it so you can be sustained by it, where you don't need to go to external foods. The only way the reason why you go to external foods is because of your still being disconnected from the source. It's a consciousness that must be connected. But that's the truth in the matter. You have to grow into it. It's not an overnight thing at all. And here we go again into another court. And this is wonderful. And the storing of these grains, you store that within your body. Not only you can accumulate energy or cultivate it, you must store it and also use it. The same energy that sustains us charges up the cell phone.
And this energy, even after a human body is not anymore alive, continues to emit out of the bones in the form of the carbons.
Right.
Everything is alive. Everything we ate, all of the nourishment of the elements of the earth, everything is still in a circle of life, never ending. That is immortality.
The Breatharian energy continuance. So
Right.
again, like we started out this video, all generations are the same generation. All races are the same races. All civilizations is the same civilization.
We are all from one source.
And life keeps on going continually. When you start riding this wave of consciousness, not only you'll be sustained by it, you will continue. So now I'm going to give you something you can handle, and that's longevity. Start thinking about living a long, healthier, and more prosperous life, stress-free. And then last but not least, for those who understand, science will even tell you most of your body regenerates itself.
Exactly.
Hands down. It does it
Exactly.
by its nature.
And this
So-
is wise thinking for older ages, because you can actually look, there were Chinese masters, women masters that looked, they were 60, 70, and nobody knew their age. They thought they were 20.
Working
their
with
age
this
was
energy.
a secret because they were stretching, they were taking care of cultivating their energy and being
Right.
radiant.
And notice what you said. It wasn't no magical secret. They were stretching.
And it was also men. not
Take your health
only
seriously.
women.
Right. All right, here come my friends again. We're going to go see the other part, but again, we're going into the realm of more of a continuance, because due to the information that's on the planet now, there's somebody who's born right now that will easily see 200 years old. Being born in the right family, the right situation, with the right knowledge, and yes, with the right health care, you should be able to live a very long time. All right, here we go. We're going to see the other part.
We know we're going to come here again when we'll be 100 and something years to visit this place and make a video.
Yeah, we'll do another video in
Just
100
wait.
years. Now we're going into this other part. Look how it is, how it's hollowed out there. Then we're going into this ancient doorway. This is awesome. Look how smooth it is. And again, there's pillars all inside. Oh, look at these writings. And some of them, the color has faded, but some of it still showed. We was at this one place where you still could see the red showing through. They was using green. I've been to some places where they used blue. So could you imagine all these hieroglyphs at once had color? You could kind of see the blue up there now. So it wasn't like it doesn't look like it did in ancient times. This looked totally different. Could you imagine? Here we go as we come through even more.
Actually, what is interesting that in India there are temples where at the base of the temple.
Oh, look at the back
What is
there.
that? All right. So in
Thank
India
you.
there are
Whoa.
temples.
Let's see, can we see it? Oh. Well, again, okay, we got to go this way and try to get the camera in the right position. See that color on most of them? And this wall is beautiful.
So I just want to continue the idea that in India there are temples where we see at the base certain images and figures really in the ecstasy of life, and then as it goes more and more and more to the top, it becomes more formless, and that shows that going up. And when you look from up down, you be disconnected from the craves of life that make you want to eat, make you want to have more and more and more and more. And as you go up, you can be more breatharian and nourished from the air and the prana itself.
Well, I'm glad she brought that up. And that's the term they're using, which we use called ascension. But now we're going to turn it around. Yes, that's true what she's saying, but first you have to make a descension. See, the higher frequency energies, they're not going to come into a vessel that's not prepared for it. So when you cultivate yourself, first there must be a descension before ascension. You must do the transmission before you receive.
I actually think that the Egyptians thought exactly what you're saying because there is no difference between the joints at the bottom and on the top.
Exactly.
It's exactly the same.
Listen how she said that.
Two different ways of thinking that are one actually
They're the
meet.
same.
Yes.
Because we're the ones want to say higher or lower, but they're
Right.
all on the same thing. And you cannot have the higher if you didn't have a foundation to hold the higher.
It's all
one. That's why you got to get into a unity consciousness. So we need to stop putting each other down on, I'm a high frequency, they low frequency. You wouldn't exist if the low frequency wasn't there. So you're all are different degrees of the frequencies, but you're made out of the same stuff. We're all beings of light. All creatures are beings of light, and that's the unity frequency again. Hey, how's it going? All right, let's go this way. Everybody's having a good time here, and we can see this is almost the end here of the city, but there's more the other way, but we'll let you see this for right now. And again, this is an awesome courtyard. You just can imagine on the things that was taking place in ancient times.
And we're meeting so much interested figures and faces from different cultures in this place. Noble Arabic men,
Yeah.
students, tourists, everybody is here from all over the world.
Right. So this is wonderful again as we explore this place and see everything that's taking place. Like she said, we're meeting some interesting people because again, it's a frequency you put on. See, when you deal with the unity consciousness, we even had this conversation yesterday. Even when you, okay, we got to get into it.
Let's continue it.
We got things that separate us big time. That's dealing with race, culture,
Gender.
And when you start thinking at a level that all women is this, all men is this, it will shut you down to where that will be your reality. It is the same with different races of people. But when you start opening up that frequency, just because you ate at a bad restaurant, for instance, don't mean all restaurants is bad. You understand? So you have to open up your thinking and put out another frequency. And that unity frequency is so strong, that's what brings people together and allow you to see more. It allows you to be sustained by more light. Now, this sounds like a philosophy, but this is real.
And it's also, I think it's important that when we encounter an unpleasant theme or something that affects us, to know how to cleanse this out from ourselves and continue not to store it.
And don't look at it as
exactly. I think that here in the land like this, when we have the sun so strong, it can go into our brain and actually clean our thinking and make our thinking pure by the sun gazing, by observing
I'm glad
the
you
sun
brought up the
rays.
sun. Now, when we was,
Straight from here into the heart. That's how it goes.
now, when we was on the ferry, what did you say? This sun is doing so much to us. It's detoxifying us.
Right.
It's making us more flexible,
More beautiful.
more beautiful,
radiant,
more radiant.
more happy.
And we was just sitting there. It wasn't even about meditation. We became aware
Right.
of what we're living in.
I actually feel that my eyes are much more wider from the moment we came into this land. My eyes have changed physically.
Right. We're
Right.
transforming daily. And this is what it's all about. When you become aware of this, that transformation takes place. Now listen how she said we came into this land. Now I'm going to put back the unity frequency just a little bit. I'm going to tweak. I was a Breatharian in Ohio, in America. I was a Breatharian when I went to Israel, in India. It don't matter where I go, in the Canary Islands, in Europe. You just have to become aware where you at in this atmosphere because it sustains us.
Right, exactly.
This is awesome.
And different places in the world also have different influences, and it's amazing to connect and collect all of this together.
Because the unity frequency it's all still one.
Right.
That's
Everything
how
is
creation is
connected.
looking at it. So this is the sustaining factor that will keep you on the pranic path and keep working on that unified thought process and understand that it's a continuance of the energy. All civilizations is the same civilization. All generations is the same generations. So I hope you got a lot out of this. This is a wonderful field trip we just took.
Thank you for being with us. It's such a joy to be here and share online life, this beautiful, amazing experience. And it shows that we're not here only for ourselves, that our intentions when we do anything should really be for the whole. And through our whole experience, it shares itself.
Oh, absolutely. So have a nice day, and we talk to you soon. Love you.